Good evening, everyone, and welcome one and all to tonight's art stream. Photography art stream, Tuesday night. Welcome, welcome. I know, long time no see. If you saw me last night. Good evening, Icarus. Welcome, welcome to the party. Gonna be doing working on some images from my past trips to Boston because I've got that wonderful, wonderful city on my mind this week, as this Saturday I'll be going there for vacation. I'll be spending a week in that part of wonderful New England, one of my absolute favorite places to go. It's been 2 years since I was last there. Now that I'm fully vaccinated, I'm getting a little bold and adventurous as COVID rates begin to plummet. Still going to be wearing a mask, though, because since the CDC is basically asking Americans to be on the honor system now, I don't know about you, but I don't trust the American public. Anyway, but I digress. So why are we repeating here? It's all right. Let's go right to our next song on the list here. Still adjusting my musics here. There we go. Yeah, that's it, Icarus. That's basically it. It's like, nope. Hell no. So, we're going to start with one of the images that I used in the promo, if you saw it on Twitter or Facebook this evening. And this was taken right in the heart of one of the many hearts of downtown Boston. This is Quincy Market, up toward the north end, near Haymarket Square. It's a really happening place. You've got a lot of shops, a lot of restaurants, a lot of history here. You have Faneuil Hall right nearby, and just a wonderful happening place, Quincy Market. I'm very curious to see how happening it is next week, because I know that Massachusetts is about to lift its mask mandates the way New York is. But we're going on vacation right before Memorial Day weekend. So we'll see how that plays. Because Memorial Day weekend is when, in Massachusetts at least, that's when the mask mandates are lifted. So we'll still be riding out that last bit of mask requirement. So Quincy Market, gorgeous place, beautiful June day several years ago. So let's start. Let's get to work. My state lifted in last week, and I'm not best pleased with the choice, but what can you do if... What can you do is not be in such a rush to, for the sake of the economy. That's what you can do. It's actually not too bad curves-wise. Yeah. Might stand to make that a tiny bit darker. Not too much, though. We can go, ooh, fancy. Actually, I don't think this needs much in the way of hue saturation. In fact, maybe we can make that sky a little bit more blue. And add a little extra blue. Not too much, otherwise we start looking funky. This particular image was, I didn't actually shoot this with any of my larger cameras. This actually came from my point and shoot digital camera, which I no longer have. It gone. Let's get a little bit more of the shadow detail in there. Pardon me. All right. Let's see here. Maybe a little. Just maybe a little drop of gradient as a treat. No, maybe not. No. No. I kind of like that, actually. Just leave that corner as is. Do do do. Maybe a little burning on the on some of that sky area there. Tone that down a little bit. I don't know how much. I don't know how much I'll be able to get done there, but make that area a little darker. this one doesn't need a whole lot of extra stuff, which I like images like that. Sometimes it's like, oh good. I can relax a little. Lighten up some of the pillars here. Just a little bit. Just a hair. It's your paintbrush portion of the program. Hopefully you're all doing well this wonderful, wonderful evening. It seems that today, in my neck of the woods, we decided to just say to hell with spring and go right to summer. Got to just above 80 degrees, and I'm like, ooh, that's... We're creeping into air conditioning time, almost. At least for me. I am not a warm weather person. In the summertime, you'll either catch me clutching my air conditioning or in a pool. You know, when I'm not at the New York Renaissance Fair. The only time where I will willingly put on that much clothing and suffer in the summer heat. And spend a ton of money in water. We've been up to our 80s. Yes. But so far, so good. I'm liking how we're just doing slow lightening here of this area. I want to make that a little bit more. I always think we're getting a little too much now. Yeah. We're almost getting a little too much in there. Beautiful. See, our fair is in October, November. It's early season, can be pretty hot, but generally, yeah. Not here. It used to be the New York Renaissance Fair used to run from the first weekend of August to like the first weekend of October. They shifted that now by about 2 weeks, so that it starts in mid-August and ends around mid-October. So you get a bit more of the early fall in there. And I think that one looks pretty decent. All right. Let's see what this looks like in black and white. Ooh. Now we can make it look really imposing. Evie. Yeah, let's actually tone it down a little. bring that gradient back. There we go. Just by shifting it over to black and white, now we just go from nice, pleasant spring day to approaching death. Just you can have a little doom as a treat. I like that actually. Like if we tone down the cyan even more. Kind of like that actually. Just a little bit of doom. A drop. All right. Cool. All right. Let's go to death. Because this is me. We're not going to have an image. We're not going to have an art stream without some manner of death. Yay, death. I believe this was taken... No, I know where it was taken, actually. So this was taken, actually, just a short way from downtown Boston in one of the neighboring towns of Quincy. This cemetery is, I think it's called the Hancock Cemetery. It's right across the street from the church where the tombs of John Adams, Abigail Adams, John Quincy Adams, and his wife are buried beneath the church. And here you see a nice example of the slate, of a slate headstone. While slate is excellent for preserving detail, a lot of these old headstones in New England are made from slate. One of their negatives is that they are prone to brittling. It can easily brittle, and that's what we have here. So this one we're just going to go right to black and white. Not even going to bother. Some nice, serene Donkey Kong Country music in the background. There we go. Now where are we getting our contrast? Now we're getting our nice contrast here. Maybe a little too much. Just a small drop of death. Just a tiny, teensy bit of death. We know how much you love death. We could go super high contrast. I think that'd be pushing it a little bit, I think. Just a bit. But we'll have a little bit. Just a little. A drop of contrast. Yeah, I agreed, Icarus. So also, bleh, words. So the next Artist Back Alley Raid Train event is going to happen the first weekend of June. I know signups are going on for it right now. So if you want information on the Artist Back Alley, you can join their Discord. I think I've got a link as a command here if you type in !ABA. That's to their Twitter, I think. But their, let me just see if I can get that in the chat here. Yep, that's to their website, which you can get to their Twitter and whatnot. But signups going on right now, taking place first weekend of June. I may be getting in on that. We shall see if my schedule allows. We'll see. I'm hoping that if I do participate in the next Artist Back Alley Raid Train, it'll be another film developing, because I'm bringing a lot of film with me to Boston, and it's gonna have to get developed. I think we're good on this one. So let's go right back across the street and actually go into the church. This is the United First Parish Church in Quincy. This is where John Adams and his family worshipped. And they are buried beneath. I do have pictures of that. I may pull them up, show you what they look like. But this is where they worshipped. And it is still an active church. It's Unitarian. Yep. There's there's the bot with the links. All right, bot. You've made your point. Yeesh. Let's tone down the saturation a little bit. This wasn't one of my better shots because this is, even though it looks very well lit, it was not well lit enough for my camera, so I had to resort to a setting that was not ideal, which is why you're probably seeing a bit of grain floating around in there. Let me go back to hue saturation. It's not in view in this image, but the pew where John Adams and his family sat for services when they regular services is indicated by like there's a wreath and a ribbon, but it's not in this shot. It's over. It's off to the right there. Make things interesting. Yeah, don't want to bring up the shadow detail too much because otherwise we get that. But I will bring them up a little bit. Now, can I do... Oh, I can do a denoise. Oh, that'd be great. Oh, that's beautiful. I didn't expect that to actually work. Hot shit. Ha! I didn't expect that to actually work. I love when weird shit like that happens. Which means, hey, wait a minute. It's not going to work. It's not going to work too much on that. Okay, I'll keep it. Yeah, okay. All right. Hello, Earthbound. Haven't played this game in centuries. This isn't art. This is just me having a good time. You have to have fun once in a while. brightness contrast. Woo, woo. Don't think it's going to actually need too much. Don't think it's actually going to need any at all, to be brutally honest. And then this is what we call switching to the dinner menu. Can we have a little mood lighting here, please? Thank you. No, I think we're good. I don't think we need much in the way of brightness contrast at all. Oh, I'm liking this. I am very pleased with that. Covers a multitude of sins, apparently. There we go, Max Black. A little too much. I want those reds to come back. Ooh. Now I see what the denoising did in the black and white. Oh, that becomes... Ugh. I see what that did. No, that will not do at all, Timmy. Nope. Alright. I see what it did now. Okay. Duly noted. I knew there was a price to pay! Thank you for stopping by this evening. If you like what you're seeing, if you want to follow more of my art, see what else I've got, type in the command !art, and it'll take you to my card page where you can get the links to my Instagram, Vero, website, Patreon, Redbubble store, all that fun stuff. A lot of what I do on here will be eventually they get made available as prints. There's a lot of stuff up there now, so if anything tickles your fancy, I have no objection in taking your money. I have no shame. I've got $60,000 in student debt. Somebody drop 60 grand in my lap, please. All right, so we've gotten those three. All right. More images. What do we got next up on the Price is Right? Let's go into Boston proper here. Do some architectural stuff. Let's go with here. Now, I know where that's located in Boston. I just need a map. I think that's Tremont Street. Because I want to tell you what building that is that we're all looking at here. It's near King's Chapel. I know that much. And I believe this is on the Freedom Trail as well. It's not King's... Yeah, it's not King's Chapel. I will look that up because I am intensely curious as well. While I look that up, it's definitely one of the historic landmarks in Boston. Nope, nope, no, didn't want to do that. The colors, man. Little hue saturation shifts. I think some gradient here would be fine. Actually, maybe just the corners would actually be. Oops. No, I think just the corners would be fine here. Yeah. God, I think that's kind of like the natural complementary elements of this one. The orange tone of the bricks and the blue of the ground. Yeah. I'd have to agree. It's a very pleasing sort of image. Brightness a little bit. Okay, I finally found what this building is. This is, again, this is right in downtown Boston. It's the Old South Meeting House. It's a historical congregational church. It was built in 1729, and the reason why this particular building is famous is that it was the organizing point for the Boston Tea Party. In December of 1773. So there's your history. Because Boston Harbor is actually a very short walk from here, so... And at the time that this place was used as the meeting point for the Boston Tea Party, it was the largest building in Boston at the time. Obviously, it has been dwarfed since in the ensuing 300 years. Black and white. That just makes her an imposing image, is what that does. Ooh, we can make you darker. And make you a bit lighter. Apparently I want to become famous. So there you go, Icarus. If you want to use your mod powers here, all you have to do is type in /ban and the username. Oh, Ryan beat you to it. Ryan was quick on the draw. I didn't even know he was sitting there. Good evening. Didn't even know he was watching. It just suddenly zing. He's off. He's quick. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Exercise those god powers. Mwah. Actually, make that a bit brighter. That'll be version 1. He did. He was very quick on the draw there. What are you working on, Icarus? If I may ask. Actually, let's do a little bit of a little drop of the selective color, I think. Let's see how the selective color works. So for that, we take off the black and white layer, and we can do this very, very easily just by wiping out all that blue. More TMA fan art. I got an idea for a 2-page lyric-based comic-style piece. I'm currently working on the inks for it and cursing at straight lines. Yes, well. We can't all be. Can't all have nice... We can't... You can't have nice things all the time. So let's see. We'll save that as selective color 1. Just out of curiosity's sake. Selective 1. So then we'll bring you guys back. And then I'm just going to wipe out all that red. Boom. Gone. That's how selective color gets done the easy way. when I'm not doing like when it's not doing one of my my figure pieces, and I'm have to lasso the entire thing. That's it. I like when that happens. So there we are, selective 2. Good, good. I mean, that could be a book cover right there. That is interesting. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Yep, somebody messaged me. And another architectural. Actually, before I jump to that, another popular feature of Boston is the horse-drawn carriage rides that take place during the summer in and around Quincy Market. So I give to you Horsey. They are, yes. I mean, I personally don't know. I've never owned one. I mean, they look nice. I've ridden horses. They're nice. But I have not been personally acquainted with horses. Whoop. Oh, no, no, no. Get out of here. Although I do occasionally see horses in the small patch of land that's next to our apartment complex. And then a horse of a different color, like from Oz, from The Wizard of Oz. Woo, 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 woo. I love doing that. It's just me being silly. What's that? That's the horse of a different color you might tell about. You know, that's something we haven't seen in Resident Evil 4. We were in the village and we saw cows, but I didn't see any horses. There are no horses in the castle. I mean, not even Ramon Salazar enjoys, when he's too busy, when he's not busy, taunting Leon, Mr. Kennedy. Doesn't he like to go out for a horse ride or two? Just saying. Just saying. Hey, Rosie! Yes! This is, in fact, a horse. One of the horses from the horse-drawn carriage rides that become pretty popular around downtown Boston, around Quincy Market in the summer. I forget what year I shot this. Hopefully your day, Rosie, was got a bit less exhausting as the day progressed. Hopefully. I know bullshit when I see it, my dear. I'm sorry to hear that. Well, I'm glad you could stop by and join. Tea time and relaxation now with you lovely folks. Oh, thank you. It's a bit quiet this evening. So, maybe just the thing you need. I don't know if you guys saw I posted it on social media, but last week, for the first time since before the pandemic, I submitted work for an art show to a gallery that I've had work in before at the Praxis Gallery in Minneapolis. I should be finding out pretty soon if any of them get in. Oops. It was one of those that I couldn't pass up. The subject for this show is called Femelia. And I'm like, well, I've got some of that. A show where the subject is the female? Okay. Twist my arm, why don't you? And there's one more show that I want to enter this week before I go on vacation, which is a local show to New York. It's an annual show. It's called the Mohawk Hudson, and it is open to all artists in any media within 100 miles of Albany. And this particular show, the Mohawk Hudson, is my white whale. This is one of those shows where I've tried 4 or 5 times now to get in, and I've never gotten in. So maybe this will be... Although I haven't decided what I'm entering that, because I can only enter 3 images into that. Whereas the show, the Femelia show in Minneapolis, I could enter 5. So thank you. I'll let y'all know either way if I get in or not. It's just good to be submitting work to shows again, because I've missed it. I've missed it a lot. Haven't made any appointments yet for studio shoots, but I know that's coming. I'm chatting with a few friends and seeing about getting them in. I know my friend Danielle, whom I've done a lot of shoots with, and you guys have seen plenty of. She's going to be getting her tattoos touched up soon, and once she's done that, then we will be doing another shoot. So. Horf! Yes, Horf! Good evening, Malice. Welcome, welcome. Alas, it is not this isn't a zombie moose. This is a horse. And for all the times I've been to New Hampshire, incidentally, I've yet to actually see a moose in the wild. So, and I'm sure Lena has a bunch of times. because Lena always has a story for every occasion. So I'll be getting to see Lena when I go up to Boston next week. I'll get to see Lena. We've made plans. We're gonna be ending our vacation with her. New Hampshire absolutely has moose. So does Vermont and Maine. And occasionally they wander into New York, and whenever they do, it makes like almost front page news because look where we live. Oh, Malice, since you're here, that reminds me. Have you received your stickers yet? I actually don't know how long it takes for first class mail to go from New York to where you are. So I'm in Canada, so moose don't make front pages. No, the things that make front page news where you are, Rosie, is the secret maple syrup mafia. I can't believe I just uttered that sentence. It still sounds so mind-boggling. Unless they're murdering people as well. All right, so now it's a legit crime problem. I know. I still like committing crimes over maple syrup is just something that just doesn't register in this part of the world. Ah, the Mass Effect theme. I just picked up the Legendary Edition of Mass Effect. And oh, it is so pretty. So pretty. You have not, but if you have the tracking number, I could check where it's at. Mail's been pretty slow here, so who knows? It didn't have a tracking number on it, Mallet. It could have I sent it in just a regular envelope like you'd stick a greeting card in. So it just had a regular stamp on it. But that's all right. Give it a few more days. Purely a waiting game. All right. Look at this fine, beautiful specimen of horse. Look at this wonderful horsey. I like that. Oh, I forgot to save my regular version, so let's just undo that layer. Now we'll save it as black and white. Lovely, lovely. All right, next. Next. What do I want? I don't know. What do I want? I mean, that's a very loaded question, to be brutally honest. Did I take any pictures? I must have. I did. But I don't think I turned them all into JPEG, so we'll just do this then. Alright, so while that's converting to JPEG, alright, you do that. And let's go back here. Aha. I need to log off, so I'm sorry for the quick appearance. Oh, no problem. No problem, Rosie. Thank you for stopping by, however briefly. Love you very much, and I will talk to you soon. Why are you doing that? Music being weird on me. Really? Was Photoshop being that much of a goddamn resource hog? Okay. Weird. Alright. More architectural stuff. Because I do love the juxtaposition and the severe angles of some of these. Although I think this one I'll just do a straight black and white for after I do a levels adjustment, because there's not a whole lot going on here as far as colors. So we'll see. Definitely gonna need a brightness and brightness contrast layer. Yeah. Definitely want to liven it up a bit. Yeah. I mean, even in black and white, that kind of winds up being a dull image anyway, because a lot of the values are the same. So, I might revisit that. I'm not really feeling that particular image, but I do like this one. we go. This is in the north end of Boston. Because the front of this building and everything above it is actually green, like weathered bronze green, like Statue of Liberty colored, the weathered bronze. The north end of Boston, if you've never been, is the oldest part of the city. And the city just kind of grew outward from that. But this was black and white film. This was around, I think this was 2013. Yeah, not a bad range right there. Could stand to be a little bit brighter, but not too much. Not too much. Actually, I think just a regular brightness contrast will deal with that. I don't think I actually need to do much with the curves adjustment. Yeah. In fact, I could probably stand to make this a slightly less contrast. Just a little, though. Just a hair. And this area is largely residential, as obviously evidenced by the, beware of dog. And, said dog right down there. Bit much. There we are. I just look over my screen, wondering where the hell I put it this time. It's right in front of me because I'm using it to watch the stream. Oh, Malice. Oh, honey. Oh, I'm so sorry. Oh. That's like right up there with like my glasses being on top of my head and me going, where the fuck are my glasses? Or even better, where are my glasses and I'm wearing them? I want a new brain searching. Yeah. Uh-huh. So today was the first time that I rinsed my hair after getting it dyed a few days ago, and as expected, it looked like I murdered an entire colony of Smurfs in the shower. So that was fun. Good evening, Cascadia, and welcome. Thank you so much. I'm Smurf murder. Ah, yes, yes, indeed. So was it choke a Smurf? I don't kink shame, Ryan. If that's what you do in your spare time. Uh, I'm doing pretty well, Cascadia, where I'm editing images from my past excursions to Boston. Because I've got Boston on my mind, because for the first time in many months, many months, I'll be going on vacation next week, and I'm going to Boston. So tonight's art stream, I'm just going through past encounters in my favorite city and editing some pictures. Very, very interesting architecture. What was I doing earlier? A bit of the old South Meeting House. I am absolutely planning on taking my camera. I've purchased 14 rolls of medium format film for the occasion. Where was I? There I am. And depending on how much of that film I shoot, if I am on the next Artist Back Alley raid train, if I can fit that in my schedule in a couple weeks, I'll probably be editing that. Not editing, developing it on the ABA raid train. And how goes Cascadia? How goes your recruitment for the LGBTQ raid train? I saw that. I saw that, and I retweeted it. So how are you doing with that so far? Where's my clone tool? There you are. Rainbow Raiders is going well. Actually, I've had to open up more slots as more international peoples. Ooh, lovely. Yes, yes, indeed. Beautiful. Oh, I'm so glad that you've gotten a lot of response to that. That's amazing. Well done. You're gonna have a whole lot of cutie pies to deal with. Nice. We've got a couple more weeks before we finalize everything. All right. Cool, cool, cool. Now we're just fixing up some dust and scratches here. because this was a film image, so you're invariably going to find some. You could have the cleanest scanner in the world, but you're still going to find. So many cuties. Oh, I'm so glad. I am so glad. But now, since I'm bringing a lot of film with me, I'm sure there's going to be I'm going to take, obviously, a lot of regular, snapshot images, but I'm going to be in coastal New England. That means there's bound to be a cemetery or 5 I'm going to take pictures at. Mornings and late nights still wide open. Basically, again, it's coastal New England. It's Puritan New England. They're everywhere. And a city like Boston, they like to build around their history. They don't bulldoze over it the way New York does. All right, no, Ryan, no.
Wrong, sir. Wrong. You get nothing. You lose. Good day, sir.
You get all of them for that. I'm going back to my photo now. Boston is the birthplace of Unitarian Universalists. Speaking of Cascadia, I was actually working on this earlier this evening. Where are you? That is the United First Parish Church in Quincy, Massachusetts. This is the Unitarian Universalist Church that John Adams and his family practiced and worshipped at. This is in Quincy, Massachusetts, and buried in entombed under the floor of that church is John Adams, his wife, his son, John Quincy Adams, and his wife. I am not Cascadia. I am decidedly an atheist, but I love the architecture of this. And yeah, since now we're on the subject, hold on a sec. Let me go back and pull up some more images that I took in that church. Let me show you. It'd be under digital. Where are you? Was it 2014? Okay, so this was July 2014 when I took this. So this is over, obviously. I'm in a corner, and then we've got those two. And so here we have, and beneath this church, there we are. It's the tomb of John Adams. So you have John and Abigail right next door, right next to each other. How much for a roll of film? That depends on the film. My typical black and white film that I get is about $8-9 per roll. Oh, I guess my playlist ran out. Well, that sucks. All right. Fine. Be like that. Just have to pull up some more different music. So yeah, this is under the church that I was modifying earlier. Um, so yeah, so then actually I've since I've already edited this one on a previously, so this is staring down the center of the aisle. I know they have one in Sam, but I forget. Is there a maritime museum in Boston? I know there's an aquarium in Boston. But yes, this is in the United First Parish Church, where John Adams and family did services. Actually, I'm just you can just barely see it. But this pew where this ribbon is, that was the pew where John Adams and family sat for services. That was their pew. They owned that pew. Down to the very bottom there. Whoa! Whoa! Thank you for the donation, Cascadia Studio. It'll be too late for me to get those rolls of film now because I have to order them through the mail, but that will definitely be used for future rolls of film. So, thank you so much. Because you do know I'm going to need replenishment after I blow through those rolls. So, thank you so much. Awesome. So yeah, that was July 2014 when I went on that particular trip, and that was just amazing. Like I could keep freaking going here because I took a lot of pictures. I took a ton of pictures that particular trip. Like, you know, I went to the cemetery where Paul Revere and Sam Adams and John Hancock are buried. And, you know, things like that. But yeah, thank you so much, Cascadia. Ah. Ah. You've got me all verklempt. Oh, where else? Another picture to edit. So, I have another version of this image on my Redbubble. But this was taken right around the same time, in the same location, just a bit more zoomed in. This is, again, more toward the north end of... Do you have any good places of Faneuil Hall and the surrounding areas? One of the first images I actually shot tonight, I edited tonight, was Quincy Market. So this image is in the north end. It's near Quincy Market. It's just like a 2 minutes walk north of Quincy Market. This is in Haymarket Square. And if you go down this street, if you were to walk straight toward the center of this image, you run across two of the oldest taverns in the country. You have the oldest one, which is called the Bell in Hand. And then right next to it, which is where my mouse is, right here, another awesome place that I really enjoy called the Green Dragon Inn. Good eats and good drinking. And then as you go down and you connect back to the main road, you get, you get a very, very pricey seafood / oyster house. I mean, it's very pricey. They can afford the neon sign on the roof. So the Green Dragon Inn has very, very good eats. I'm just going to tell you that right now. I'm probably going to hit that place up next week. I'm going to be on here for about like 25 more minutes or so before we call it a night. But thank you all so much for joining me and spending some of your Tuesday evening with me. Much, much appreciated. Thank you so much for the company and for the donation. Just thank you. Actually, you know what? Let's crop that concrete barrier right out. That's better. A slight desat. Not a lot, though. Although two of my favorite restaurants in Boston have since vanished. They don't exist anymore. One was down near Chinatown, an old German-style pub called Jacob Wirth that had been there since before the Civil War. And then there was one in Quincy Market that I really, really loved called Durgan Park. And that was also another restaurant that had been around for like 100-and-something years. Both of them run into the ground by bad management who, didn't know what the hell they were doing. But I'm hoping to also hit up the the Isabella Gardner Museum and the Massachusetts the Museum of Fine Art. No. Switch the theme. Switch the music. Don't want you. I want you. Oh, that's better. Let's bring out some of those shadow details. Nice. Not too much, though. You don't want to go absolutely crazy. I don't want to adjust the contrast and lose that. really imagine. Yeah, some blue, not a lot. No, I'm liking that so far. Nice, you know, sort of twilighty image. All right, black and white time. Yes, I'm liking that. I am liking that quite a bit, actually. Um, 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 um. Where's my good friend, the paintbrush tool? Yes. Fill you back in. Yes, yes, good, good, good. All right. Now then, back to my good friend Adobe Bridge for the next image. Well, you know, we listened to some Resident Evil 2 soundtrack goodness. No, not that series. I'm in the wrong folder. That's why. Like, wait a minute. Why did I do... Oh, because I'm idiot me's in the wrong folder. That's the folder. So, the last time I went to Boston, which was 2 years ago, one of the places that I got to visit was the Isabella Museum of Art. The Isabella Gardner Museum of Art. And one of my favorite... Why are you opening in Photoshop? I want to open you in Affinity, not Photoshop. Because I am a sucker for beautiful colors and beautiful stained glass. Oh, that's why. Okay. That's why. All right. I think the last images I'm going to be playing with tonight. Let's drag you over here. Since you insist. Here's the room it was sitting in. And I decided to take a close-up. Oh, let me see if I can find what the name of it is. Because I like to... Is that the same one? Yes. Okay. It is called the Soissons Window, with scenes from the lives of saints. And this piece was made in about the year 1205. So this was made for, according to the, I'm reading this now from the Isabella Gardner Museum's website. This window was made for Soissons Cathedral, the earliest of the great High Gothic cathedrals. In addition to its beauty, the window, considered by scholars to be the finest example of 13th century French stained glass in America, has a fascinating history. It survived Huguenot attacks, the French Revolution, and World War I bombardments. When Isabella purchased the window on the advice of her friend, historian and novelist Henry Adams, she thought it was from the Abbey Church of St. Denis. Perhaps Isabella pictured it as a perfect companion for Paul Hillou's nearby painting of the same church. In 1960, scholars determined it was from Soissons. The window narrates the story of two locally important saints, Nicasius, Archbishop of Rheims, and his sister Eutropia, who were martyred in the year 403. Look for the entombment of Nicasius in the center of the window. Two figures carrying crosses flank the saint's body, while shovels used to dig the grave appear at the bottom. In Gardner's lifetime, she used this space as her personal chapel, and in her will stipulated that a service be held here annually on her birthday, April 14th. So that is your history of this piece. And because I'm a sucker for blue, I loved the I loved the image, and I loved how just the patterning worked. You know, for an 800-year-old piece of art, this has survived pretty well, I would say. Don't think I'll be doing a whole lot to this, but wow! Oh my God! If I adjust the hue layer, things go crazy. No, no, no. I've already played Resident Evil 3. We're not going to do that. No, thank you. No, no. We're good. Good. We're good here. However, fun with sliders. Woo, 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 woo. And again, you have to make those sound effects or it doesn't work. I don't think I really need to do, I really don't think I need to do a whole lot to this image, which is nice. Maybe dial back the blue a little bit. Not much. Yeah, I really don't have to do much to this image at all. Yep, that's the chapel. Yet to do. Oh, I was mistaken, Ryan. I did have pictures from Faneuil Hall when I was there in August of 2017. I was mistaken. Not too many though. Not ones that I would like to edit here. And no, this will be the last image I play with tonight. Because I think it's a wonderful one to end on, because it's It's a lovely place, and I hope it's still there. I really hope it survived COVID. This is from February of 2018. This is just outside a used bookstore called Commonwealth Books. And they were having an outdoor sidewalk sale that day in the alley that's right next to it. This is one of those used bookstores where you can get lost. You can really get lost inside. Busy foregrounding background with the fire escape. That's all right. I understood, Cascadia. You're fine. You're fine. Yep, that was. I mean, you basically you figured out my intention there. That was the idea. Because you have this sort of plunging alley and then goes right back into residential area with especially with the fire escape. So yes, very good. I mean, funny that you, an artist, spending a lot of time looking at art. I mean, weird. And you know, I've got a degree in fine arts and a photography concentration and an art history minor. I don't look at art all the time either. Funny that, guess. But yes, as an artist should, look at tons and tons of art. All right, let's up you just a drop. Yes, thank you, bot. I'm trying to remember if this used bookstore or the other used bookstore that I went to in Boston had the bookstore cat. Didn't have a fine arts degree. Mine is more of a digital art focus. Did a lot of 3D environmental modeling and then proceeded to not. Yeah. That's basically what happened to me. Like, I worked for New York State Civil Service, left there to finish getting my art degree. I got the degree, couldn't find a frickin' photography job, so I went back to civil service, which is where I still am, and make the occasional bit of money doing photography, but nowhere near enough to live off of. Not yet. Yep. We've about hit the 2-hour mark. So yeah, this is going to be the last image I work on before I call it a night. Alright. Hue saturation. Thank you. My job working for New York State Civil Service is my get medical insurance and pay my student loans job. This is what I prefer to be doing full time. And, you know, making the amount of money to match. But you know, I've discovered that a lot of people like to look at photography. Not too many people want to pay for it. So, it's just, I mean, and that's not just photography, that's art in a nutshell. But, you know, we do it because we still enjoy doing it, which is very important. Art should make you happy. You should at the very least enjoy what you do, regardless of the type of art you make. Photography, illustration, sculpture, paint, writer, musician. Exactly. All right. So we are good there. Damn capitalism getting in the way of the artist's life. Right? Freaking jerks. What was I doing? What was I doing next? Oh, yes. I wanted to make this a straight black and white, because I think it's a much better image as a black and white. Just let me make my art in peace. Yeah. Seriously. And I think we've just about wrapped this one up. So let me save it. And we will do a bit of a recap, which is what I typically like to close on anyway. Did a lot of stuff tonight. I didn't do anything more with that. Okay. So let's go back to my stream folder and I'll show you what we did tonight. I mean, obviously we did this. We worked a little bit on this. But let's open up our affinity photos here. All right. So, here's what we did tonight. We started off with a shot of Quincy Market. So we edited that, and we then made it black and white. It made it evil, made it gloom. And suddenly Mordor is approaching. We did our horsey. And a black and white of said horsey. We had a shot of the Old South Meeting House with some modern architecture behind it. If you missed my little history blurb on the Old South Meeting House, this is where the colonists gathered. This is the gathering point for the Boston Tea Party. And then we did a black and white of it. So before I go any further with the recap, so Cascadia, there's a whole series of these that I do as diptychs. It's a series of mine. It's on my website, and you can find it also on Instagram, scattered about. It's called Urban Planning. And it's just a series of these types of images. Again, as diptychs, sometimes triptychs, where I get to play a lot of the angles. It was, and, you know, not to toot my own horn or anything, but I totally am. But a lot of those urban planning images, a lot of, exclamation point art. Exclamation point art takes you to my link page, the link aggregate, where you can then find the link to. There you go. You click that link and you'll see the image for my website. And if you check out urban planning, and I had the honor of showing off a bunch of my urban planning images with one of my best friends, who's also a wonderful photographer in his own right, by the name of Dan Hausner. And we did a show of rural and urban images. He's an artist, a photographer who's based in the Adirondack Mountains of New York, upstate New York. And we did a show together, his rural images, my urban images. And we were interviewed by the local PBS station up near Plattsburgh, New York. And so, yeah, I got to be on TV for a little bit. That was a lot of fun. Thank you so much. And that was a lot of fun. A lot of work, though, because if you want to have a show featuring a lot of your own work in a gallery, or you and maybe one or two other artists, you have to apply at art galleries. You know, a lot of art galleries will have calls for art. They want to plan for shows for their upcoming season. So you check out their websites and they'll solicit a call for art. And, you know, you apply, you send like a disc, a CD-ROM or a flash drive. It's got a lot of it's your portfolio, what you want to show, and they'll decide whether they want to show it that year. And yes, then the printing, framing, etc. as well. Yes, that is the unfortunate fact of the matter, is that, you know, if you were to apply at an art show to have your work featured, and a bunch of your work, and you get accepted, then yes, you have the additional expense of printing and framing. I mean, I try to make it as cheap as possible for myself, because I do all of my own framing. Like, I will buy the frames and then assemble it and do all the matting myself. Because, sorry, Icarus, no disrespect to your proud occupation, but going to a professional frame shop and having it done for you, I would need to basically fill out a mortgage application. So, but yes. But if you can, Cascadia, there's a lot of shows that I submit to called juried shows, in which you submit between 3 and 5 images, depending on the theme of the show. And if you get in, usually it'll be 1 or 2 pieces. So your work will be shown amongst a bunch of other artists, 10, 20 artists, however many the gallery can hold, which is a good way to get your foot in the door if you show 1 or 2 pieces. So the expense of printing and framing 1 or 2 images wouldn't be quite as heinous as needing to frame 10, 15, 20 pieces, you know, the way I needed to do for that urban planning show. So, you know, if you want resources, if you want places to look for juried shows, please let me know and I can throw you links. I can throw you all the links if you want. And yeah. So that'd be lovely. All right. I'll find you're on Discord. I'll find you, and I will message you some of the links that I use when I'm looking for juried shows to enter. And it won't be just for photography. There's a lot of shows that are open to illustration, photography, sculpture, 2D media. So yeah. And if anyone else in the chat wants me to send them links to shows for submission, then yeah, I will do that. Moving on with our recap. So we did a black and white of that, and then we did a selective color of that. And then the flip side. Beep. Then we did the Oyster House. That was the last one we did. That was my residential area in the North End. The interior of the United First Parish Church in Quincy, the John Adams Church. Matting is pretty easy. Matting is pretty easy, especially if you're doing smaller pieces. And our black and white of the Oyster House. So yeah, that's what we did tonight. So next time you will see me streaming will be this Friday night at 7:30 p.m., where I will continue my playthrough of Resident Evil 4. And it'll be the last stream that I do before I go on vacation. So there will be no streams at all for next week. After this Friday's stream, I will not be streaming again until the day after Memorial Day, which will be June 1st. And that's a Tuesday, so I don't know if I'll be doing an art stream or Resident Evil 4. So that will be the case. Yes, Castadia, thank you so much for the donation, and thank you for the well wishes. And if you want to talk more about framing, I know how to do it for my photography, but if you want more professional advice, chat with Icarus. Icarus frames for a living. So, I will refer you to Icarus as well. So yeah, let's see if we have anyone who is presently streaming that we can raid. See if we can share the love. Who's on? Oh. None of my art friends are on at the moment, so... All right. In that case, we'll just call it a night. So, I will see you hopefully this Friday night for Resident Evil 4, 7:30 p.m. Eastern. But if not, I will then see you in a couple weeks when I come back from vacation. Thank you again so much for spending some of your Tuesday evening with me. And as always, stay healthy, stay safe, wear a fucking mask, get vaccinated. Please, get vaccinated. Don't want you to get sick and die. I'll see you Friday night. Enjoy the rest of your week, everyone. Much love.